speaker today is Reverend Lakota OneHeart. Lakota is of Lakota and Abenaki descent, so she is an original American. And when a people live successfully on a continent for 15,000 years, they probably know something about life. They know how to listen to the wind, to sense the tall grass, to hear the Stone Nation when it speaks. The Stone Nation's been watching this planet for 4.6 billion years. They know a few things. And I've never heard Lakota say anything that wasn't true. When I say true, I mean she experienced it personally as part of her own medicine walk. Tongue of Lakota is straight, like a tree in the forest. So please welcome, coming to us straight from the mountains of Virginia, where everything is sacred, our friend, our sister, our teacher, Reverend Lakota OneHeart.
Oh my good gracious, almighty. All righty now. I want to do a Lakota Thank You song so you could hear the gratitude in my original language, my people's language. Because coming into the Thanksgiving with that so-called meeting hundreds and hundreds of years ago was a clash of different idealisms, a clash of different concepts, and a way that my people grew as well as yours. We grew together, and that's who we are today. There's no sits above, there's no separation. We're all part of the great whole. And there was a symbol on this continent. Yes, there was a symbol. It was a circle with that cross. Now, if you drop that cross down to the bottom, you see the cross of Jesus, man. But if you look at that cross in our original symbol, it was the circle, the red, the yellow, the black, the white. This was all of the races of humanity that found their way here. Think about that, your ancestors. Say these words out loud. Ishka. Ishka. I am here. Isn't that simple? Isn't that beautiful? What a concept to think about it. We're here for a reason. For that symbol to be a living symbol. Not a symbol of distortions or separation. Not a symbol of one color over another. That cross of those colors was equal. And now we got to blend. Our different races are marrying and blending and have all the beautiful traditions and gratitude with it on this continent. Gratitude. So the song I'm going to sing is a song of gratitude. Tunkashila Wapila Tanka Tunkashila Wapila Tanka Wankan Tanka Unchemalai Hayo. And I'm to sing it to each directional keeper, the red, yellow, black, and the white. It's nothing but gratitude on the cross of life. Tunkashila Wapila Tanka Tunkashila Wapila Tanka Wankan Tanka Unchemalai Hayo. Tunkashila Wapila Tanka Tunkashila Wapila Tanka Wankan Tanka Unche malai hai yo. Last time. Tunka shila wapila tanka. Tunka shila wapila tanka. Wonkan tanka. Hunche malai hai yo. Now you're going to feel very peaceful now. That song is a medicine song of unity, of joining, of gratitude, our Great Spirit, for everything that we have and even what we don't have yet. It's Wahmachi, breath, matter into movement. If we are so made into this likeness and the beauty path that Creator created us in, we get to co-create here. Now, everything in this world co-creates with you. Science has made that a fact. Everything is in a song, singing, 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 and always, always in a harmony. There's no separation. There is never, ever, ever disharmony. That's consciousness at its highest performance. When our minds are out of whack, our bodies become out of whack. Our heartbeat does not beat to the full spectrum of love and creation. It has an abnormal rhythm then. And that creates the heart attacks. The disharmony does. Where you can find harmony is in your heart first. Your union that you have and your special epiphany of your awakening of your soul with God. Everybody has that. Everybody. Even a sleeping baby that's just born has that communion. And if you think for 1 second that you're outside of the hoop of life, you're in a physical deception. If you carry an angst or an anger, anything to that type of emotion, you create that disharmony in your heartbeat. It beats out of rhythm and it stresses our bodies. It stresses our minds, and it stresses our souls. If you want to come into a harmonious way, clear your mind. It is not the big thinker that it really is. The heart is. The heart has that connection to God that your mind can circumvent and cut off just because of your angst or your anger or your frustrations. Get off the scrolling of the doomsday, of those little apparitions that we have. Everybody has one in a pocket somewhere. Get off it. Get out in nature again. See what God has made for you. And the true harmony that you do have by living and breathing this beautiful air that our Creator has made through the trees that gift us this exchange. They breathe out, we breathe in. We breathe out, they breathe in. What an incredible harmony on our planet with us. And yet we're chopping down trees like they're nothing. We're taking them when we don't really need to do this anymore. We don't. There's other ways to build without taking our very breath away from us. Yes, trees do grow back, but it takes 14 years for one full-grown tree to clean the pollution out of 1 cubic foot of foot of air. Think about that. We're creating a lot of stuff out there, and the debris in our sky and our breath. Remember these words: wa, ma, chi, breath, the Big Bang, matter, creation, movement, it will become. That's us doing this by our very breath. We are creating the world we live in right now. So if you've got an angst in any way, shape, and form with creation, change your breathe. Change your breath to glorify God again, to glorify your life again, and to hold that in its sacredness, because you are sacred. You're all on a little g, cosmic creation of God, to be God's to help in the whole creation. Wow. And if you look at wow upside down, it says mom. Okay? Out of that comes birth. Birth, children. The joy that we have in our world. Every child matters. Every human being grows from that child. So they matter too. And if they got some kind of, what I call the hangover of wrong thinking, wrong consciousness, and they're hard to be around, love them more. Open up your heart and see where that dissension started in their soul. They came out with the breath of God's love. They were born this way. Open up your hearts to everybody and everything in creation. And your heart will start singing in your body a song of healing, a song of no angst but peace. And your very breath and your very co-creation with God will manifest all of your dreams. Our word for dream is homblachia, to cry for your dream with God. We put people up on the hill for that, which means they go without food or water for a few days. Used to be a stringent 4 days, 4 nights, but I've baby just saw some, the ones that come now. I give them maybe 2 nights in the morning, then we feast, because we're filled with carcinogenics and poisons from our environment, and they will set up residence in your body if you don't have the water flushing through and movement. I've discovered this. So when you ever decide to come up on the hill, in little Abingdon, Virginia, the mountain that I found from my vision in my Sundance, when I went to dance for my mother to live, and she adopted me legally at the age of 9, but took me away from my foster mommy at 6. If you look at 6 and 9, they both look together inside and upside down, don't they? Interesting numbers to me. The 6-pointed cross of Wa'ope is White Buffalo Calf Woman's star. It's the same Star of David. It's the 2 trinities intersected, making White Buffalo Calf Woman's symbol, the Dawn Star. Her name is Wa'ope, Wa'ope. That you won't find too many books. That's in our language of her sacredness. And think about Wa'ope and the word Wopila Tonka in that song. It's gratitude. Gratitude. Nothing but the sweetness of our hearts opening up to the full creation spectrum and beyond our little gut reactions and our brain's reactions, the heart awakening to become the dawn star that embraces all, holds all and everybody in their sacredness, their love, and who they are from God above. There's no sits above. None. We're all here together. And the minute we start realizing that power within ourselves, we change our world. Because then we walk in the power of heart. Heart beating, and a rhythm, and a song. You know, the heart is born in the body, growing from the fetus. It starts first, that beating, and that song in a body just beginning to grow in the womb. The heart's first. There's your connection. There's your gratitude. All hearts to beat as one. That's right. He knows. He knows. The mountain that I was pulled to live on, to use as a spiritual retreat, and not at my old farm on Shillelagh Road, is a little bump straight across to a bigger bump, and then the tower. I found that mountain shape traveling with a friend and his sister. We went up to look at the land. It said farm for sale. That was the beginning of me seeing what I was supposed to see. But on the place, when I got close, there had to be 4 buffalo boulders. Then I knew it would be on the vision. It would be the vision's land. And on that mountain is 4 buffalo boulders and another gift. You know, us Indians have this beading thing that goes like this. It's called Tonwan, God's eye. God's eye. We beat it, all the tribes do it. There's not one tribe in this country and in Canada that has not done that type of beading. When a baby's born, that's the shape of the opening before it closes out God. It's God's eye upon us. We're born with that symbol. Our skulls eventually fill it in of all our crazy thoughts. We lock ourselves in to our own insanity. What can we do about that? Well, if that little bundle muscle inside of us has the cross of life in it and the circle of the 4 chambers, just like the medicine wheel, you own the power within. You're not separate. That's an illusion. That is an illusion. You're not separate from Creator. You're not separate from Earth Mother. You are not separate from each other. We're a tribe of humanity. Wherever the skin became different, noses different, shape of eyes different, it was from the sun. Our Earth Mother's spinning around that sun spinning, and the galaxy spinning. It's a song, but we had to adapt to the vitamin D3, which we need in order to live. So places that had too much sun, which is too much vitamin D3, we had to have more pigment. Places that was less sun, we had to have less pigment. And our bodies adapted through evolution. That's right, sweetheart. Through evolution, our bodies adapted to wherever we came from. But now, here on this continent, our sweet little USA, we have all 4 of the colors of humanity here. We are a birthright of a symbol to change the world. So I don't want to buy into whatever people think about our country. We've got a wonderful country here. Yes, on Thanksgiving, way back when, my people would have shared. People that didn't know, we said, oh, those poor people. They don't know a thing. They're going to die this winter. So we had to do some teaching and sharing in order for them to live. We had no concept about the ownership of property or land, because to us, Earth Mother owns herself. It was just that simple. We consider her a living, breathing identity, and we still do. I'm going to give you a true story, how much she'll take care of you. I was down in my bottom field, and I have a little bit of a sugar issue, as a lot of Indians do. Sugar was not big and prevalent among my people long ago. And so to have so much of it and so much, it's made me a borderline diabetic. Hypoglycemia. I was down at the bottom, fence post hole digging, putting in a fence line for my livestock. And I got a little bit dizzy feeling. So I went over and drank some of the water from my spring, and I still felt it. So I decided I better go up the mountain and get something to eat. I think my sugar's dropping. I only made 4 steps. I was ready to pass out. And you could go into a coma. There is a danger to it. I heard this thumping sound as I sat down on my knees, coming down from the top of the mountain where I was. It was an apple. Apple. The apple tree threw me an apple. Imagine that. That was the most awesome gift from that mountain when I was first there working it. I had many setbacks up there because it's straight up. There was no road. I had to put in a road. Had to build a bridge. West Cones helped and restored the bridge, but I had to take apart that bridge, metal by metal, cut the beam in half, drill the holes in the metal, all of that stuff in order to build a bridge, because the culverts kept filling up with clay, debris, dead animals from gully washers, and I had to crawl in those big holy things and dig them out, pickaxe. I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I want a bridge. And to the good credit of our sweet little group of dreamers and a dream circle that I started in this area, we got the funds for a bridge. And I had a wonderful hero from up at Burke's Garden where Sharon was, named Kemp Hogue, who helped me design and build my bridge. And I did that, and I never built a bridge before in my life. But I'm going to say something to you all. Don't stop because you don't know what you're doing. You know, they have a saying in the mountains called get her done. You just do that. Let's just do that. You don't have to be absolutely 100% technical correct. But a bridge is just from one point to another over the land where I dug out the culverts. And it was done. It was done. Took a little bit. We had to take the metal and get it hauled up to Kent Hogue's place where he had the right stuff to cut through metal from the I-beams to make the holes and everything. It was not an easy endeavor, but I did it. And my little grandson was there during the time. At that time, he was just like 8 or 9. And he was prancing on that bridge when it was done, doing a little dance. He thought he was so cute, and he was. So don't limit yourself in your life with your endeavors. Don't limit yourself what your dream is. Make it happen. You're the co-creator. You got a power. A huge, epic power. And always in that power that you display to manifest, give your gratitude. Always. If you can't even say thank you, live thank you. There's not a day on that mountain that I don't send a prayer of gratitude for Creator putting me there. There's not one day. I had to live in a tent for 3 years. No road. Put in the road. built a little tiny cabin and an outhouse. Yes, that was a luxury, believe it or not. I made that different too, so that our land is not spoiled. I made it so we have location, location, location. By the time you go back to first location of the waste, it's all broken down and part of the dirt. So nothing is wasted. Nothing is misused. I keep that land in its holy space of grace for all who come. I might be the keeper of it right now, and I've worked my butt off to get it and take care of it. But if you're to be responsible for something that embraces the love and the will of God and to help people heal and help people grow in a spiritual vitality that becomes a habitual awareness, not just a Sunday school event. There is a difference. You walk in your power and the truth of that power. That's right. He knows. He does. His spirit's very strong. He just felt me touch on him right then. I used to work out at Southeastern, and I had young men like him I took care of, and I loved with all my soul. They were my babies. And you just brought back a lot of wonderful, good memories out there to me. Yeah, thank you. It is. It was the best job. They didn't want to hire me because I didn't have a 2-year degree, only high school. When I found out that was the problem, I wrote them a letter on top of my application every month, the same letter. You need to hire me. I'm not going to leave in 2 years because I got education and you're just a step up. I'm here for the long haul. Believe it or not, I got hired. It was amazing. And I stayed, and I only left because of my own son's handicap and his needs. And I started the company, the Party Ponies in Tidewater. Pony rides, pet and zoo, and face painting. So people's needs and a mama's love will change the very dynamics we live in, and that's love. That's love. It's amazing what that energy can create in our world. Let that be the elixir on your dreams, the fertilizer of your get up and go and do and get it done. Let that be the manifestation that you yourself are co-creating. And you know, if we're going with our Creator, man, if we got a power, we have a power. We can change this whole planet in the blink of an eye together. You see some wrongness out there? Sing happiness and joy into it. Shift the vibrational tone and the angst out of the brain so you don't have that gut knee-jerking reaction anymore, and you open up the heart again. Don't close your heart. Ever. I don't care whoever has done me harm in my life. I've loved them more. And because of that, they changed. They grew. As a fertilizing dot on a cosmic egg of creation. That's God's love. It just is. It's an absolute. And you don't have to do anything for it, by the way. Just the fact that you're created makes you part of it. And you own it. Always remember your ownership. Where you stand, how you walk, how you think. If you're going to embrace nothing but negativity in your brain, your heart beats out of rhythm. It's not in rhythm, and you'll end up with a heart attack. Less than 150 years ago, there were hardly any heart attacks in our country. There are so many now. It's because of hearts beating out of rhythm, from mind being out of rhythm, and scrolling the doomsday, your side, my side. I only believe this. Who cares? That's right. He knows. He knows. Just listen to your heart and you can't go wrong. Walk in your heart and you'll always be in a power. Give it to God. Give it to creation. And know that you're part of it and you're co-creating too. You take that responsibility and you will walk in your power. You'll talk in your power. You'll sing in your power in this beautiful, sweet church. I'm about done, I know. I'm going to do one last song, okay? It's the same gratitude song. If anybody wants to sing it with me, they may. Tunka shila wapila tanka Tunka shila wapila tanka Wong kan tanka Unche malay yo Tunka shila wapila tanka Tunka shila wapila tanka Wong kan tanka unche malay yo. Last time we're going to make a trinity, so you birth it. Tunka shila wapila tanka Tunka shila wapila tanka Wong kan tanka unche malay yo. Tunka shila means grandfather. Wopila Tonka means gratitude to you, Great Spirit, which we call our grandfather. Wakan Tonka is the big holy. The big holy. Thank you very much.